Hello everyone, we're going to talk about Ecdysozoans today. This lecture will be divided into two parts. So, roundworms constitute a large phylum, Nematoda, with some 20,000 recognized species. Nematodes are abundant and diverse in marine and freshwater habitats, and many members of this phylum are parasites of plants and animals. Many nematodes are microscopic and live in soil. Arthropods are by far the most successful of all animals. Well over 1 million species, about 2/3 of all the named species on Earth, are members of the phylum Arthropoda. About 200 million individual insects are alive at any time of each human. Members of the phylum are small, generally a few millimeters in length, but adults range in size from about 80 micrometers long to 3 meters across. Arthropods are of enormous economic importance, affecting all aspects of human life. They pollinate crops and are valuable as food, but they also damage crops. Diseases spread by insects and ticks strike every kind of plant and animal, including human beings. Insects are by far the most important herbivores in terrestrial ecosystems. Virtually every kind of plant is eaten by one or more species. Although our understanding of the phylogenetic relationships among the groups of arthropods and their relationships to other animals may shift with new findings, taxonomists currently recognize 4 extant classes. A 5th, the trilobite, is extinct: chelicerates, crustaceans, hexapods, and myriapods. Mouth parts of chelicerates are chelicerae, whereas those of the other 3 classes are mandibles. Mandibles are inferred to have arisen in the common ancestor of crustaceans, hexapods, and myriapods, which means that these groups are more closely related to one another than any of them is to chelicerates. Nematodes are bilaterally symmetrical, unsegmented worms, covered by a flexible, thick cuticle that is molted as they grow. Lacking specialized respiratory organs, nematodes exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide through their cuticles. Muscles beneath the epidermis, which underlies the cuticle, extend longitudinally from anterior to posterior. Nematodes are unusual among worms in that they lack saccular musculature, so they can shorten but not change diameter. The pulling of these longitudinal muscles against both the cuticle and the pseudocoelom produces the characteristic wriggling motion of nematodes. Nematodes possess a well-developed digestive system and feed on a diversity of food sources. Near the mouth, at the anterior end, are hair-like sensory structures. The mouth may be equipped with piercing organs called stylets. Food passes into the mouth because of the sucking action produced by the rhythmic contraction of the muscular pharynx and continues through the intestine. Waste is eliminated through the anus. Reproduction in nematodes is sexual. Nematode males and females differ in form, a state known as sexual dimorphism. The tail end of the smaller male is hooked, whereas that of a female is straight. Fertilization is internal, the male using its hooked end and associated structure to help inseminate the female. Development is indirect, meaning that an egg hatches into a larva. which does not grow directly into an adult, but must pass through several modes, and in parasitic species, transfer from one host to another. The adults of some species consist of a fixed number of cells, a phenomenon known as eutelie. For this reason, nematodes have become extremely important subjects for genetic and developmental studies. The 1 mm long C. elegans matures in 3 days. Its body is transparent and it has precisely 959 cells. It is the only animal whose complete developmental cellular anatomy is known. Many nematodes are active hunters, preying on protists and other small animals. Many are parasites of plants or live within the bodies of larger animals. Almost every species of plant and animal that has been studied has been found to have at least one parasitic species of nematode. The largest known nematode, which can attain a length of 9 meters, parasitizes the placenta of sperm whales. About 50 species of nematodes, including several that are rather common in the United States, regularly parasitize human beings. Hookworms, most of the genus Nectar, can be common in southern states. By sucking blood through the intestinal wall, they can produce anemia. The most serious and common nematode-caused disease in temperate regions is trichinosis. Worms of the genus Trichinella live in the small intestine of some mammals, especially pigs and bears, where fertilized females burrow through the intestinal wall and release live young. The young enter the lymph channels, which transport them to muscles throughout the body. There, they mature and form highly resistant, calcified cysts. Eating undercooked or raw pork or bear in which cysts are present transmits the worm. That is the first part of this lecture. Let's continue with the second one.